Okay, so in the previous video we have a prototype which allows us to log in and out, which works. It was quite simple. Now we need to, in order for that to work on every page, every artboard I should say, we would need to duplicate that. So here I would need to do the same again. Now this is obviously highly inefficient, and there are now workarounds for this. Unfortunately, we have to make some workarounds because Figma pages don't allow us to navigate with the prototype between pages. All the navigation, all the prototyping has to be on the same page in Figma, which to my mind is a major oversight in the design, but let's just consider it a feature instead of a bug, and let's work on the way to work around it, work around this problem. And there is a way to work around it. So what do we want to do? We need to make sure that we have a component that has this interaction that all the pages use. Now, we can't use our app layout component because we have that on a separate docs page for ease of use. So what we have to do is to make kind of a copy of this, a child actually, of this app layout locally. I'm going to demonstrate that in this video, and all of our local components that we want to reuse have to be on the same page as our prototype, which is kind of awkward and it's a workaround, but that's just the way Figma works. So let's jump in. All we need to do now, I don't want to duplicate this for every page, so we're going to have to duplicate this app layout, for example, or create a new one. On the very same page, we need to put it here. I'm going to just remove that for now. So what have we got? We've just got an app layout component, and let's just say this area is our components, and let's call it the local components. We'll tidy that up later, but just for clarity, this is going to be our local component. Move to design. Let's zoom in. Now, this is the app layout, but it's an instance of the master. What we really need is a copy, a child of this. So what we need to do is create a component from this, and we need to rename it. So this is my convention, but you don't have to use this one. So I usually just use an underscore, which means it's a local component, and that also is the added advantage that it doesn't get published by any design system in Figma. So that's my local app layout. So local app layout, all it does is inherit app layout, but we enhance it with the prototype, the prototyping interactions that we need. So for example, I'm going to demonstrate that now. This, we will now move over here to our model. So the menu is here, and what we need to do is create in this local version to this page, basically we create the interaction here. So let's go ahead and create the interaction. I'm going to open the overlay with this manual. Let's just make sure it's in the right place. I'm doing it this way, so it's right aligned. So on tap, open overlay, dissolve, close when clicking outside. That's going to work. Now, any page that any artboard that inherits this component is going to inherit this interaction, and that's what we want. It's unfortunate we have to do this workaround, and if anyone knows a better way without using links, please comment it, because I would love to avoid having to do this. But let's do that now, and let's say, for example, this app layout, what we need to do is we're going to have to swap this out for our local version. So if I put underscore in here, I'll find it. Now it's using app layout underscore, which inherits app layout. So it's the same thing, it's just a quirky workaround. I'm going to have to do the same here. So I'm going to replace this one with my local app layout, local to the page, but obviously here now I'm going to have to change this again. It shouldn't be the page home, it should be the page profile, as we did before. There we go, because it resets to whatever was in here, and in here I had the dashboard. Now I should remove that one, but I can leave it as default. In theory I should remove that one so that it's clear, That's just the layout. And then we'll have to update that one. Well, I'll show you what happens because I want to show all the things that can go wrong and the things we should do right. So here I should move this one back to the dummy slot or instance, whatever word we use, the instance. So it's just an instance. Now, of course, what's going to happen here, this is going blank. So we have to go back in here and change this one to page home, a dashboard home. And now it's working. Okay, so now what will happen when we go to a prototype is if we press play, this will now work in both pages. So I can go to the profile and it will still work. So any page now that inherits this app underscore app layout, that's our local version, and anything we design, update or change on here is going to be inherited by our pages. And likewise, similarly, anything we update in app layout, the master component is going to be inherited here in our prototype and will override any local. So we have to be careful with that. So this is the master. This is an instance. And inside this instance is the original. Okay, I hope that's clear. So now we actually have our pages, 2 pages linked by using one app layout. And like I say, when we update the app layout, all of our pages are going to inherit it, and that's what we want. So that's just a workaround for prototyping in one page, unfortunately with the limitations that Figma provides us. So let's get on to the next video with that in mind. See you there.